Hey there guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another best class setups in Modern Warfare video. Basically, we are taking a look at a very underrated weapon by me in this game. I don't really give a lot of respect to the Kilo 141 usually, but I know a lot of you guys do love it. The Kilo is just a decent weapon in this game. It pretty much does everything solidly, and there's nothing really bad that you can say about it. Like, it has decent recoil, good damage at range, like it's easy to control, and has a decent amount of bullets to fire. Like, it is basically the middle of the road assault rifle for every situation. Just before we do get into talking about our best Kilo 141 class setup here, of course, let's try and get this one to 20 likes. You guys have been absolutely fantastic recently. We did absolutely smash past 2,900 subscribers, so 3K is very, very soon, of course. So if you have not already done so, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. Now, let's talk about it here. Let's do it right now. So, of course, as I said, I haven't given the respect to the Kilo 141 that it definitely deserves in this game. It's just a solid all-around weapon that you've got decent attachment choices. Like, you can pretty much kit this out exactly how you want, and you'll do a decent job with this pretty much all the time. But we will start off with our sidearm here, of course, the Akimbo X16s. Basically, all of the Akimbo pistols in this game are very, very similar. All you want them for is a very powerful close range option. If somebody does pull up on you, get too close, basically you pull out your pistols and you blast them away. Very, very powerful option here. Set up with that monolithic suppressor, the Vanguard Elite barrel, the 5mm laser, the lightweight trigger, and of course the Akimbo perk. I've had people ask me before about the Singuard Arms Advantage barrel versus the Vanguard Elite. I don't think there is a big enough difference between these two to sort of say one is better than the other. They both do fairly similar things. Of course, in the perk slot, we do want that EOD Ghost and Tracker. EOD for that explosive resistance is always a very powerful option in this game. People love chucking C4s around walls and over corners and stuff like that. Ghost for staying off of those UAVs, but of course, like, there's a lot of good options here, like Restock, Hardline, Point Man. Still good if you're an objective player, but Ghost is the option we're going with it here. And in the third perk slot, we do want that Tracker, basically to see those enemy footprints. Is very, very powerful and does combine really nicely with the Dead Silence field upgrade as well, so you can just follow people around without them knowing you're there. Very, very easy here. The C4 in the lethal slot, basically a very powerful close range option. Like, you chuck it over a wall or just chuck it at someone and they'll pretty much die unless they're running EOD. And then we have the stim shot in the tactical slot as well. Basically just get that extra chance per life is super, super strong. So as I said, very, very versatile class setup with the Kilo 141 here. I'll talk about some of the different attachment choices that you do have. Like, if you don't prefer specific attachments, you can always change them out for other things. But starting us off with something that you can't replace, the monolithic suppressor here, of course, basically giving us that extension to our damage range as well as that sound suppression and increasing our bullet velocity by about 10% as well. Really, really nice option here on most weapons in the game. It really only competes with the compensator and then maybe the muzzle brake sometimes, depending on the actual weapon. Then we go to the barrel here. Normally we would run like the Whisper barrel if we're going for sort of a competitive sort of SMG style class setup, but because we're sort of fighting at those medium to longer distances here, we want that Singuard Arms 16.6 inch SOCOM barrel for that damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. The difference between the two larger barrels here is this doesn't reduce our movement speed by as much, and the aim down sight speed difference is also not as large. Moving to the Commando foregrip here, basically being able to control that horizontal recoil very, very easily with this weapon. Does not have a lot of bounce as it is, and this makes it very, very easy to control all of our shots here. That little bit of boost to our vertical recoil control as well is really, really nice here. We want the 60 round mags. I mean, you can really take whatever magazine upgrade you want here. You don't even have to take one if you don't feel that way. Like, 50 is probably the bare minimum that I would run. 100 rounds is kind of goofy, does make us a little bit slow here. You could probably run this with the no stock and do an okay job, but 60 seems to be a good middle ground here. Then we want that stipple grip tape, of course, for that aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed. Now, if you're not feeling that way inclined, you can of course take the tack laser as well, or you can take one of the close range stocks, like close quarter stock or the no stock. Like, this last slot is of course up to you, so stipple grip tape, tack laser, or the no stock and or close quarter stock in the last slot. But as I said, the Kilo 141 is a very versatile option in this game. If you like assault rifles that are just decent, like good all around weapons, this is definitely one of the options for you. We're going to jump into some gameplay here right now and we'll test out this weapon, talk about it a little bit more because it's very, very good in this game. So of course, Crash is a very, very good map for showing off how powerful assault rifles are. In most situations, we're going to be able to get those medium, longer lines of sight that we're after, and we can pretty much post up wherever we like and do a decent amount of work here. If we open up this door on the side, there's always going to be somebody peeking up over the top here. Pretty much every time, like, you can basically guarantee that you'll get a kill there if you do line that up properly. We're actually going with something a little bit different here. Instead of the 60 round mags, we're dropping with the 50 because, I mean, we want that slight increase to our sort of aim down sight speed, movement speed, while not reducing that too much. But you can see decent recoil control all around here. Like, just really, really easy to control recoil. This is one of those weapons that just does a fantastic job at whatever you really... We're in trouble here. There's a man up the top, second story. There's another one up there. If we can slide it... Oh, no, he's dead. If we come around through the middle of this building here, there's pretty much always going to be people running through that little corridor, and we can sort of take another peek at it here. Got to be a little bit careful about who's coming in where, though. Oh, jeez. Jeez, that dude actually scared the shit out of me. I just shit my pants. I got to go clean that up. Alright, so again, just holding these medium longer lines of sight, you sort of want to be able to fight people at pretty much your ranges. Like, moving outside of your ranges can be a little bit scary sometimes, as we don't really have the aim down sight speed and movement speed to sort of compete with those up close ranges. Like, so there's a guy over here. I was going to hit him with that jump shot, but I sort of lost sight of him as I moved in behind that truck. But that's alright. As I said, we want to fight people at our ranges here. It's been a couple of days since I played any Call of Duty. Like, it's been a little while, I'm not even going to lie. Some of the videos you've seen recently are a little bit pre-recorded, so a little bit rusty, but we can make it work. We can make it work. It's not too big of a deal. It's a very simple game. All you have to do is use your mouse or controller and point at the bad guys, and that's it. Like, that's really as in-depth as this game gets sometimes. And sometimes you just have to lay down and wait for people to walk to you. It really is as simple as that sometimes. You just gotta wait for people to come to you. It's really not too difficult of a game, if I'm honest. It's not as complex as people make it out to be. You just wait for people. Ugh! Bit like that. Bit like that guy was doing there. That was kind of spooky. But while we are in this excellent position here, not really able to get taken out by anyone that we're not sort of expecting, like... Basically, if somebody does walk into our sights with this thing, we're able to get a pretty easy kill on them as long as we don't just, like, miss 100% of our shots. Like, it's really easy with this weapon. Really just trying to control the middle of the map here. This is where all of the fighting happens. As you can see, we're doing fine. We are doing really nicely here. We're going to call this on the back side of there. Do actually need to reload. I'm in a not so great position right now. Like, this isn't really where you want to be a lot of the time. We want to be more towards the sides of the map, as people do constantly try and push us here. Oh boy, that was a little bit close. We're going to call in that support healer. This game's going to be over before I know it, but man, like, if we get to our spots with this, you're pretty unstoppable. Like, it's a weapon that does get competed with at those medium distances with like your M4s and stuff like that, but it's consistent and it does a really nice job with it. That dude is having an absolute snooze. Like, that dude is just sleeping, having an absolute nap back there while we're popping off. But that's okay. Some people play like that sometimes. It's a little bit frustrating to deal with, but I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, we are absolutely dominating this game right now. There is no two ways about it. We are absolutely shredding these dudes. Can you chuck it over there? You can, but I don't think it worked. Just gotta wait for the bad men's to come to us. It's pretty simple here, and the game's gonna be over basically before we know it. It's about to be over already. Like, 88 to 50 is an absolute stomp. Let's get in there. I'm sick of these dudes just sitting in here. Actually, no, we're spawning here now. Oh, I got baited. I got baited. Yeah, that's depressing. I'm gonna push out too far, but they are spawning back here, I believe now. But all we're really looking for with this particular weapon is just consistency, and that's what we get here for the most part. Like, really easy to control. It reminds me a lot of the ACR from previous games. It's just a nice weapon that's really easy to shoot, really easy to hit most shots, and you can just do great amounts of work with it, man. Like, just feels really nice to play with this thing. Nice. Pick up the last couple of frags there for a very, very good game there. Nice and short though, nice and short little gameplay, but we'll have our final thoughts on this bad boy in just a second. So as I've said a number of times with this particular class setup here, basically all we're looking for is consistency at range. Those medium distances we can absolutely dominate here with good damage, really easy to control recoil, and an okay aim down sight speed. Like, once you're far enough away from people, the aim down sight speed really doesn't make too much of a difference, and we're going to have those sights up anyway for the most part, always looking for targets to walk into our crosshairs, and we can just basically finish finish them off really nicely. I really do like the Kilo 141. I've really not given it the credit it deserves previously, but it's a very strong weapon in this game. Very, very versatile. You can set it up to compete with those SMGs and then lose out on that longer range, or you can compete at those medium distances and then just do basically a great amount of work all around. Thank you very much for watching this one. Hopefully it did help you out. If it did, make sure you do leave a like and do subscribe if those notifications turned on. If you are new around here, of course, help us get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We're very, very appreciative of that. Thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!